So let's figure out how to get the exact image size we want in the final result. I think it'll be really helpful for you to understand the whole process of image generation. If you start with an input image in 16:9 aspect ratio and then use another image with a different aspect ratio, the output will actually adopt the ratio of that second image. Why does that happen? Well, Gemini works with a sequence of images, image 1 and image 2. Inside the script interface, things are defined very clearly. Image 1 is the main image, the one we want to transform. Image 2 is the reference image or simply the helper. And by the way, in your prompts, you can just call them image 1 or reference. Now, according to the Gemini Flash documentation, aspect ratios when editing, Gemini 2.5 Flash image generally preserves the input image's aspect ratio. If it doesn't, be explicit in your prompt. Update the input image. Do not change the input aspect ratio. This is very important. If you upload multiple images with different aspect ratios, the model will adopt the aspect ratio of the last image provided. If you need a specific ratio for a new image and prompting doesn't give you that, the best practice is to provide a reference image with the correct dimensions as part of your prompt. So yeah, that pretty much explains why this happens and clears up the whole question. Now, let's move on to image filling, making the picture complete and seamless. For example, let's say we take a square avatar and want to keep the same style. If we want to stylize the original image using the style of a reference image that has different dimensions, then the final output will match the size of that reference image. In the prompt, just write, make style like reference style image. That way, the output keeps the same square ratio as the avatar. But if you want a wider image, you'll need to specify that in the prompt. Though honestly, that doesn't always work, even though the docs say it should. Here's how I do it. I place the avatar inside an image with the aspect ratio. I actually save that as a reference image and then use it. That guarantees a 100% correct result. And one more important thing, always describe the exact result you want. For example, if you write complete the image, the output will give you a fully finished version of the objects. But if we make the reference image the same size as the original and just fill the empty space with white, we'll get the exact size we need. But if we actually want to extend the image, then instead of using the word fill, we need to use the word complete. As a result, Gemini will generate a full image that it considers finished. Of course, you should describe the details of what you think a completed image should look like. Or just use my little trick with the word complete. Now, if you want to extract an object, there are two ways, but in both cases, you'll still need Photoshop or a similar tool to remove the white background, or whichever color is easier for you. Method 1, use an empty reference image, and the prompt, fill image to reference. As you can see, I often have to send the request again and again because I'm using an image of a woman with a low neckline, and Gemini keeps trying to generate unsafe content. Sometimes its behavior is really unpredictable. So you just have to repeat the request or rephrase it until you finally get the result you want. In my case, I also added safe image because Gemini was trying to generate something unsafe. After that, you can just use remove background. Method 2, skip the reference image and simply write, make this woman on the white background. You can pick any color background you want here. Also, don't forget, as the docs say, use photographic and cinematic language to control the composition. Terms like wide angle shot, macro shot, low angle perspective, 80 mm portrait lens, and Dutch angle give you precise control over the final image. And finally, just a reminder, all of these features work in the original Google AI Studio web interface or in my script, which you can get for yourself. You'll find more details in the description below this video. The best way to thank the author is to share this video with your friends. I will hope to see you next time.